function on a daily basis. Not because I'm arrogant, but because I believe I really can do anything, because I brainwashed myself to believe that. Now, on the flip side of that, the way a white supremacist might oppress you is he might have you repeating messages to yourself that are designed to destroy you. So, I want you to ask yourself this question. If a 9-year-old boy is repeating Molly Percocet, Molly Percocet, Molly Percocet, Molly Percocet, and Molly Percocet's being marketed to him on a very deep level. Marketing does work. All the studies show that when you market something over and over again, people do want to go buy it. People do want to go try it. People do want to go use it. People do want to go get it. That's how they sell you everything from new cars to Air Jordans, is marketing. If that 9-year-old is getting that message on a daily basis, I want you to ask yourself, once he starts trying Molly Percocet and he gets into, using dope at 13, 14, 15 years old, what kind of black man is he going to be? Is he more likely to be successful in life, or is he more likely to fail? What kind of father is he going to be? Is he more likely to be a good father, upstanding, where his children can be proud of him, or is he more likely to be a drug addict, that is, where his children are hurt, traumatized by him, upset with him, embarrassed by him? What kind of choices is he likely to make? Is he going to make great choices where he puts himself in good situations, or is he going to make a string of bad choices and then spend his whole life out of the game? Again, you can't win the game if you ain't in the game. Black men ain't just losing the game. A lot of black men ain't even in the fucking game. They ain't in the fucking game. We take them out of the game at the age of 12 because we just basically let white people give them messages that are going to kill them. DMX could have been the greatest artist in history. DMX was on track to sell more records than Jay-Z and Beyonce put together. DMX could have been the hip-hop version of Michael Jackson. He was that bad. He was that talented. He was that popular. DMX he was like, did anybody see that movie Pootie Tang? Remember Pootie Tang was so fly that Pootie Tang could make a song with no music and no words. Pootie don't need no words. Pootie don't need no music. Pootie don't need no sound. And the song was still a #1 hit. Y'all remember Pootie Tang? Anybody weird like me? If you ever want to see like a really stupid movie that'll make you laugh your ass off, if you're weird like me, go watch Pootie Tang. DMX was like Pootie Tang. DMX had that much talent where he could have done anything. Mike Tyson is another version of DMX in the boxing arena. Mike Tyson was, to this day, the baddest boxer I've ever seen, including Muhammad Ali. I love Muhammad Ali, but even Ali said, when they asked Ali, they said, so do you think you could have beat Mike Tyson in the ring? Ali said, if he'd have hit me one time, I'd have been like this. Because Mike Tyson was the only guy I've ever seen that can knock somebody out in 10, 15, 20 seconds. What got Mike Tyson and DMX off their track? What threw them off their track? Drug addiction. Drug addiction. DMX said, when I tried cocaine at the age of 14, it was over. It was over. Cocaine has been haunting him his entire life. DMX got a bunch of kids out here he can't take care of. DMX is in prison right now. How do you go from being one of the most popular artists in the world to being a man who's sitting up in prison right now? It's choices. And it's listening to the bullshit that's coming from your boys, your so-called friends around you, who are telling you to do things that are going to destroy you. But ain't none of his boys that told him to take that first hit of cocaine, ain't none of them boys around now. Ain't none of them boys returning him his phone calls now. They probably got their own problems. All his friends that told him this was cool back in the day, ain't none of them around today. So when you see young black men being paid by white men to promote drug addiction to other young black men, all you're really seeing is systematic racism in action. All you're seeing is exactly what white people have been doing to people of color for the last 500 years. All you're seeing is a process where they're giving them money, they're incentivizing them to destroy as many black people as possible because they don't want the black man to ever compete with the white man. Dr. Claude Anderson said in Powernomics that from slavery, the black man was never ever designed or trained or taught to be competitive with the white man. They do not want that. They wrote that in their documents. They said, we do not want black people to be competitive with white people. So here's what's interesting, right? So when I see, the music and the mumble rap sort of encouraging drug addiction, it makes me think about the difference, right? The advantage that my generation might have over the current generation. Now the drugs are cool. Now the drugs, or your favorite artists are telling you to sip purple, right? Even though Lil Wayne and Rick Ross, these niggas having seizures and shit. Excuse my French, I don't mean to cuss, but it annoys me. It really gets on my fucking nerves because it's like, God damn it, don't you see the writing on the wall? Don't you see what happens? You ain't supposed to be having seizures when you're 30-something years old. They telling you to go. They always blowing smoke. That means they always smoking something. They always talking about popping pills. Like, what the fuck, man? Seriously. What's wrong with you black people that got sense? All of us. What's wrong with us that we will allow this stuff, them to even do this? The government does not allow people to market products that are going to murder or kill other people. But we'll let them just shit all over our community and we don't say nothing about it. It's insanity. It's fucking insanity. So here's the thing. So today, for a lot of the young people, that shit's they make it look cool. They make it look like you want to go pop a pill. They make it look like you want to go sip some purple. They make it look like you want to go smoke synthetic weed that might have you eating murdering your parents and eating their guts, like that the bath salts and all that shit in there. Wesley Muhammad does a good job of talking about how the synthetic weed is designed to destroy the black man. I don't know the details on that theory, but I don't doubt what he's saying. It wouldn't surprise me at all. They've always done things like that. And so it's made to look cool for young people today. The advantage that my generation has, I think, is that the first time I heard a hip hop artist do, back then it was called gangster rap. Gangster rap eventually evolved into what it is now. The mumble rappers are pretty much like the grandchildren of the original gangster rappers, which were like NWA, Ice-T, stuff like that. It was a Schoolie D, I think, what it was in Philly. I'm not a hip hop historian, so if I get something wrong, don't torture me for it. But basically, it started then, and then out of that grew the Tupacs and the Biggies, and then from there you had the 50 Cents and the and the other artists like that, and then G Unit and all that stuff, and then you move forward, you get Lil Waynes and T.I.'s, and then you keep going, and now you got what you got now, right? I think it's all kind of connected to a point, right? Not entirely, but let's not get nitpicky about it, but it's connected. And I'm gonna tell you this: the first time I heard a hip hop artist really speaking real and talking about drugs was when I heard Ice Cube, and he had a song called Dope Man. If you remember the song Dope Man, can I get a hit? Whatever, right? And I remember the lyric on one of the first lyrics on drugs I remember hearing was, check this out, pay attention now. This was the brainwashing we got. And I don't think NWA, honestly, I don't think that music was healthy. I think that it's part of what led to all this stuff now. But then again, you can't put it all on NWA because they were young kids that were kind of speaking as reflections of their environment. But at the same time, they do have some responsibility for everything that they create. If you're going to take responsibility for the good things you do, then you must take responsibility for the bad. You can't take the good and ignore the bad. That's not full circle. That's not full circle responsibility. So the first lyric I remember hearing about drugs is I remember he said, y'all remember this? He said, if you smoke cane, you a stupid motherfucker. Y'all remember that? And I remember, as a 17, 18-year-old kid, I remember thinking, yeah, I don't want to be a stupid motherfucker. I don't want to use drugs because I don't want to be a stupid motherfucker. That was a very powerful and very important lyric because he could have said, everybody smokes cane because it makes you cool. Whatever, you know what I mean? Like he could have made it cool to use cocaine. And I guarantee you that if Ice Cube had chosen to make it cool to use cocaine, a lot of young black men would have started using cocaine. But he went the other way. He said, if you smoke cane, you a stupid motherfucker. Hey, you're known around the hood as a schoolyard clucker, doing that crack with all the money you got on your hands and knees searching for a piece of rock. So the visuals being drawn are like this dusty ass, weak ass dude on your hands and knees searching for a piece of rock. And then if you remember this lyric where he said, to be a dope man, boy, you must qualify. Don't get high off your own supply. So what he was basically saying was, look, if you want to win the game, you can, if that's what you choose to do, you doping people up, which I don't know that if that's a good career choice, but if that's what you're doing, you let them get high, you let them get caught up in all that stuff. You don't fuck with it because you're trying to stay focused, right? So it's almost like if I own a nightclub and I want to really win the game, I really want to be the king, then what I'm going to do is I might have the liquor and the music and the party for everybody. Like, oh, drink up, everybody have fun, go have fun. But then everybody's having fun. I'm holding the glass, but I'm not really drinking any of it. I'm going to pour it out, and I'm going to be in the back counting my money. I'm be in the back like this, just counting all that money I'm making from all these people that are too doped up to even think about the fact that they're giving me their rent money. Right. And a lot of times I think that that's kind of what happens when you talk about entertainment. You got those people that are like, OK, let's keep the party going. You got companies like Clear Channel that will own every urban station across America that will be feeding black people the most toxic, most destructive, genocidal music ever. And they want to keep the party going. They're like, oh, yeah, we're going to give Lil Wayne an award. We're going to give so-and-so an award, for how many records they sold. And they got you celebrating all this bullshit, like looking up to these people because they have money in their pocket. And they're sitting back just counting their money. They're like, their little daughter, little son is like, Dad, I want to listen to some Shorty Red or whatever the hell these artists are called. And they're like, no, we don't listen to that in this house, right? The Jews that run the music industry, the Jews are smart on this. They don't let their kids listen to that shit. They don't let their kids go into the thug lifestyle. They would never let anybody promote anything in their community that is nearly 1/10 as destructive as what we have promoted to us. Right? They don't allow that. But we'll do it all day long. And we think these people are heroes to look up to because they have money in their pocket. And we're not thinking for 1 second about how all this plays out. If you want to see the future, if you look at a lot of these guys that are getting high every day, bragging about it, kind of just making it look cool and fun, and you want to see what their future looks like, look at DMX. Look at where DMX is right now. DMX, he ain't cool no more. He can't sell a record to save his life. He's not disciplined. His children don't respect him. He's an old man who's sitting up in prison to the point where, if you saw a headline tomorrow that said DMX found dead, you wouldn't be surprised at all. You would kind of expect it. If there was a headline that said Lil Wayne found dead, you wouldn't be surprised at all. And I think you got to think about how strange that is because these guys are not that old. Lil Wayne is in his 30s, but you wouldn't be surprised at all to see him found dead. Anyway, as I move on, let me remind everybody, Dr. Claude Anderson and I are going to be in Chicago, St. Louis, Dallas, and some other cities very, very soon. If you want to know when we're going to be in your city, you can go to financialjuneteenthpowernomics.com. That's financialjuneteenthpowernomics.com. So all three of those words, financialjuneteenthpowernomics.com. And you can check it out and get your tickets. The Chicago tickets are on sale now. The sale ends in a couple of days, so you want to get your tickets now if you want to get the early bird discount. If not, you can buy at the door, but it costs more at the door than it does online. So feel free to come see us in Chicago, St. Louis. We got a lot of cities actually on the list. We got Chicago, St. Louis, Dallas. Let me see here, Charlotte. Let me see, Atlanta, Houston, Los Angeles, Manhattan, Toronto, London, Brooklyn, Cleveland, Detroit, Jackson, Mississippi, Philadelphia. That's where the All Black National Convention is going to be held September 27th. Memphis, Houston, and New Orleans. I'm also going to be at the Black Men's Convention hosted by Malik Shabazz. I can't remember the exact date, but I know it's in D.C. And let me see if I can Google this right quick and see if I can find this. Here we go. Let's see. I see an Eventbrite page. So let's see if the dates are right. Or if the dates are the ones, if this is the one for this year. I hope it's the one for this year. Yeah, Malik and I just talked the other day about a national economic plan for the black community. It's blackmensconvention.org. That's blackmensconvention.org. And it's going to be held at the Shiloh Baptist Church in Washington, D.C. And the date, you know what? Go to blackmensconvention.org because for some reason I don't see the date here. Oh, okay, I see April 21st, but I don't know if that's the date where it starts or how that's all kind of popping off. But anyway, April 18th through the 22nd. So I'm going to have to actually head in and head out because I'm headed out to St. Louis. Cornell West will be there as well as a bunch of other people. It looks like Professor Griff is coming through, and a lot of other great people. So anyway, let me keep going. Professor James Small, that's a brilliant black man right there. All right. So if you look at the music.